Greetings to all. Greetings to all live from Detroit, Belle Island. I've been getting a lot of questions, especially, well actually I got one recently, but it's a continuous thing that's been kind of coming up in discussions about praying, who are we praying to, what are we praying to, etc., etc. Ultimately, we are only praying to ourselves. When you look out, you only see yourself. Even when you look out in nature, you only see yourself because all of these things that are external are simply a reflection of yourself, or a reflection of yourself internally. So even when you look at the water, for example, you're only looking at the aspect of yourself that is emotions, because the waters represent emotions. So even when you're praying, even when, the aspect of praying to quote-unquote God, or whatever we perceive as God, it's really you're only praying to yourself, because the aspect of what you call God is your reflection. When you were a child, whatever you perceive God to be was simply the reflection of what you were at that time. Whatever you perceive God to be when you was 20 years old was your reflection at that time. Now that we all are advancing, growing, expanding, etc., etc., God is that also. So God actually is a continuous creation, so to speak. We're continuously creating what that idea, or what that reflection, or what that connection is in terms of God. It works in the same way in which you perceive as the devil. The devil is also, quote unquote, the devil is also your reflection. If you perceive something or a particular entity that is coming to your life to torment you, to attempt, to cause all this turmoil in your life, it's only your reflection. You understand? So again, God, the devil, the aspects of praying, it's all your projection. So you're only praying to yourself. You're only invoking yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that's really the whole aspect of praying. Also, I like to say this when it comes in terms of praying, as far as what we're praying for, or should we pray for things. I like to look at nature. Always look at nature when it comes to observing, because nature provides so many wonderful answers. Nature is what I call the divine intelligence. Nature is also what I call the great ancestor, because all of this existed long before any of us existed. Long before your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your uncles, your aunties, your mother, your father existed. This was here. So all of this contains the answers, the wisdom, the insight that we are always in search of. So one of the things that I always say when it comes to praying is that when I look at the trees, for example, the trees never have to pray for new leaves. They never have to pray for new leaves because they are in the space of releasing the old leaves. See what I'm saying? They release the old leaves, and because they've done the work in releasing the old leaves, they receive the new leaves. In the same sense, summer is coming upon us in a few weeks, or actually in another week. In the same sense, nature never has to pray for summer to come, because it is doing the work in releasing the springtime. So that is the key, or what I would say, that's the key in receiving and manifesting and creating, etc., etc., is simply to release. When you're doing the work in releasing, you have no choice but to receive. You have no choice but to manifest. You see what I'm saying? Just as in nature. It has no choice but to receive the new leaves, the new plants, the new life, etc., etc., because it does the work in releasing. Mama bird receives the new baby because the babies from last year have gone away. So there's nothing more to happen but to have new babies that come in. See what I'm saying? So in the same sense, it works the same for us. When you do the releasing work, when you do the work of releasing, when I say releasing, I'm not just talking about the physical aspect of it, because you got to understand, first and foremost of all, it has to take place mentally and emotionally. First and foremost. So when you are doing the releasing from the mental aspect, releasing the thoughts, the feelings, the experiences, the past, quote-unquote past, that no longer serves you, then at the same time, the physical aspect of these releasings reflect. They have to reflect. So when you're releasing the old energy, the old thoughts, the old feelings, the old experiences, you have no choice but to usher in the newness. See what I'm saying? But the key, again, I think the key to it all, in terms of our creating, manifesting, and receiving, is not so much to pray, but is to actually release. Because actually, and then even to go a little bit deeper into it, when you talk about praying, all you're really doing is just clearing energy. You're not necessarily praying for anything to come through. I mean, we think we are, because that's what we're programmed to believe, and that's what we've been trained, coming up in the church and whatever other religious aspects that we may have come up in. We taught that praying is, is about praying to receive something. But in actuality, all you're really doing is just releasing and freeing and clearing energy to receive what's already there for you to receive. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, you're not praying to God, you're not praying to whatever it is to come bless me with something. You're just simply clearing the stagnant energy, the fearful energy, the worrying, the doubt, in order to receive more freely, to receive more clearly. So that's actually all. That's the only thing really praying is. You're just simply clearing energy. Even in our other spiritual works that we do, whether it's rituals, whether it's invoking, etc., things of that nature, you're just simply clearing energy so that you can receive everything that's already in place for you to receive. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the key to this thing is. All right? Peace.